Welcome to the Dice Tower, a series of video reviews about board and card games. Here are your hosts.
Hello everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Mike Delisio.
Welcome back to the Winter Spectacular and our first ever live Square Review.
Wow.
All opinions here cannot be changed.
I'm out.
All right. First of all, we have a contest that we're running. You can win a copy of a gift certificate, $30 gift certificate from Game Nerds. This is for folks in the U.S. And you just, to enter this contest, we're going to have 5 winners, by the way. This contest is running all the way to the end of the year. So you can enter that the end of the year 2021 in case you're watching this in the year 2025.
That's fair.
Put the keyword Frosty in the subject, email contest@dicetower.com, and then there's put your favorite of the Square reviews in the body. We're doing Golem, Stella, Mobile Markets, Foundations of Rome.
Do you like Frosty the Snowman as a Christmas song?
Yes, but I also like Frosties from Wendy's.
Oh.
That's right.
Good call.
Neither of which are in this game.
And that, come on, Chris, that was my segue here. Golem. So Golem is a game that is actually based on an old Jewish legend and lore of these stone golems that they used to defend themselves with, and they would stick a scroll in the mouth of the golem that would give it commands. It was one of the first versions of a robot, frankly. All of which is not in this game. I mean, we agreed it's not a... I mean, there's some theming in here, but not much.
It doesn't lean into the protecting of the city of Prague from persecution. It doesn't lean into a lot of that stuff.
Wait, Prague is in this game?
Yeah, Prague.
Do you have a problem with that?
All right, so...
I can see why you guys are a perfect match. That's fantastic.
All right, so anyhow, we're going to be talking about this game, but first, Chris is going to tell us how it works.
Here's the setup for a game of Golem. There's 3 players set up, but this is just one player area. You've got your board here kind of divided into the 3 main areas of the game in which you'll be scoring points. The blue area on the outside here relates to books, and you'll be scoring books times a multiplier, which is going to be these blue menorahs that you'll reveal over the course of the game. In the center of your board is the area where you'll construct the golems. These are the 4 golems that you can construct, and these are the upgrades for them. As you reveal these menorahs, you'll be multiplying them times the number of constructed golems. And then over here are your 4 artifacts. These are randomized and set out each game. Players can draft them and or just get dealt a random one. There are 4 artifacts that you can complete by filling them with bars of gold according to the number that they require. And when you do that, you'll multiply them by the number of yellow upgrades you've revealed, which are the yellow menorahs here. And that's going to be the main driver of points for the game, especially at the end game. You do a couple things here, like you get 4 starting tiles and you choose your starting resources, and little benefits like upgrades to your board or to advance your students over here. Now let's talk about the main board. The main board here is basically a system of tracks. The top of the red, yellow, and the blue tracks are where you'll be moving your students along, which are these meeples here. That will be earning you income during the income phase of each part of the game. And then on the bottom here are the golems. Your golems will work for you. You're constructing them to move them along the city here, and at some point lay them down to take working actions in order to get benefits that are going to be very, very helpful for you, and then standing them up and then moving them further down the city and working them again. But you want to keep your students roughly as close to in line with your golems as you can, lest you will destroy the city of Prague, represented in this game by losing victory points. The round is broken up into 7 phases. There are 4 rounds to the game, indicated by these cards here. You can flip them over at the end of each round to kind of keep track of it. So the first thing you'll do is the refresh phase. You don't do that at the beginning of the game because we have randomized the marbles here. We have everything set up and we're good to go. So the next phase, number 2, is going to be the golem movement phase. You'll look at where your disc is here on the golem control track. You'll see that this requires 2 golem movement. And then we look at the event card over here for the round, and it shows another 1 golem movement. So between your 2 starting golems and then any additional ones you build, you'll have to do that many steps of movement. So this one's going to move 2 steps, and then I'm going to go ahead and move this one 1 step. That resolves golem movement. All the players will have to do the same thing, and they can divide how they want to divide those out. The next phase is the action phase. During the action phase, you'll be taking 2 marbles and then doing a rabbi action, which is placing out your rabbi onto one of these action tiles here. You'll do 1 action per turn, and you can decide what order you want to do them in. So maybe first, you'll go ahead and draft one of these marbles here from a row and activate its corresponding action. The main actions here give you resources and then let you do an upgrade by spending that type of resource to flip over one of these types of tiles that's on your board here, which will give you ongoing benefits and reveal the menorahs for the endgame scoring. The other thing you get to do when you draft an action die is you'll also be able to get one of the things that will work towards endgame scoring. Blue is books that you'll tuck up to this part of your shelf. Yellow is paying for gold that will complete your artifacts. And then for red is constructing the golems so that you have more golems out on the board. And then each of these corresponding to their respective multipliers. So if I drafted this die over here, you resolve a few things. First, because I drafted a blue die, I'll get to move my student on the blue colored track. If I draft a red die, it will go up on red. Yellow, it will go up on yellow. Whites do not count for any movement for your students. The black die, however, allows you to move 2 of your students each 1 step. So then, because I drafted from here, I would get that many coins. So 4 coins, and then I could spend coins on these upgrades here, which will make my artifacts more powerful or unlock new ways to trigger these artifacts outside of just the income phase. Then lastly, I could pay coins in order to get a bar of gold and work on completing an artifact. Once it's all the way done, it's complete. So that would be 1 whole turn, and then the other 2 players would go, then it would come back to me. I could either draft another die, or I could do a rabbi action in which I would send my rabbi out to one of these action tiles. Say this one that lets me move up the bookkeeping track over here, and I could activate a book if I had already grabbed one. So if I had done this action. Or you can move your golems and make them work, or you can get different points for different conditions. This one down here allows you to kill your golems, and then when you kill a golem, this is one way to keep control of them, is if they're too far ahead of you, or whenever you want, you can just kill them, send them down to the cemetery down here on the bottom of the board for some bonuses right away, like maybe some more gold, so I can get this artifact completed. That sounds pretty good. The other players, of course, can activate whatever they want. You can't double up on the same action tile. There's a couple of rules to that. Lastly, when you finish up whatever action it is that you're working on, let's say that I had grabbed a yellow marble and done this action that lets me copy other actions by paying a coin. Then I could copy this one up here, say for example, that lets me work the golems that I have out here. I have to pay a knowledge for the different golems I want to activate. I activate them by laying them down and then taking an action. So you see here I could purchase one of these books from the book display here at a 3 discount. So I could pay 2 knowledge, say, and grab this card over here. When you slot these cards into one of your 4 available shelves, you will get the immediate activation bonus, and then you'll trigger any bonuses starting with this tile if it's flipped over, and then working up. If you are able to tuck multiple cards into the same row, they have to be the same color or a wild black card, you can trigger the immediate effect, get the bottom effect from the tile if it's flipped over, and then every other benefit shown on this, shown on the cards that are revealed here. You can only tuck cards, multiple cards in the same slot if you upgrade this track here, this book track. The next thing that you'll do, phase 4, is to redetermine the player order. You'll see that our rabbis here are in an order from top to bottom, so therefore this will be the new turn order. First purple, then blue, and then gray. So now I'm last. Great to be me. Next up, we'll look at step number 5. If the marbles that you drafted are the same color as the 2 marbles for the event card this round, you'll be eligible to get this bonus, either 3 coins or pay coins to get some benefit like upgrades and victory points. If I don't have matching marbles, then I did not get this. But let's say that I had drafted either matching marbles like this, or if I had earlier drafted a white marble. White marbles count as any color, and therefore this would be an eligible combination for this card. If you ever draft the black marble, you get the extra student movements, but this one will not match any of the colors on the cards here. Step number 6 is the income phase. If your students have reached places out here on the board where they'll start earning income, you count that. As you've moved along these tracks over here on your player board, you'll get income. And then, for each completed artifact, you'll also trigger more income over here, which is how you get more resources so you can be set up for the next round. You are also eligible to do one more upgrade. So after getting all of the income, I could then pay some of those resources that I got in order to do an upgrade. So I could pay coins to upgrade my artifacts to make them stronger or trigger more often. I could pay blue knowledge resource to upgrade my bookshelves so I get more bonuses when I tuck cards, or I could upgrade with red, the clay resource, my golems so that the golems have stronger or better actions. At the end of that phase comes the golem control phase. You're going to check to see where your golems are on the board in each of the 3 city districts and then compare them to where your students are. If your student is on that space or further ahead of it, you have to pay anything. You've already controlled that golem. But if your golem was further ahead of where your student was on that track, you'll have to pay 1 blue knowledge resource for each step that the student is not able to have caught up to him yet. And that's one of the benefits of killing a golem, say that maybe is really far ahead of where your students are. After you've done that, one whole phase, you'll gather up the marbles again. You will discard the front card here of this lineup. This obviously should have filled in already over the course of the explanation here. You'll take the marbles, you'll send them through the chute again, see how they randomize, and then you're set up for the next round. Everyone's rabbis are available. New rabbi action tiles will come out and replace these. And then that's the basic idea of the game.
We've never watched one of those before.
Simple as
That
that.
was fascinating.
Right? Nothing to it.
Easy peasy. I definitely misspoke nothing. Calling marbles dice repeatedly.
They are dice.
All right, Wanda, you said you had thoughts on the components.
Okay, well, I have thoughts on this marble thing. Okay, I like the idea of the marbles. I think it's cool. I think they're like 5-sided dice. Essentially, it's a randomizer. But every single time that I'm the person who's supposed to put the dice in that thing, I feel like I can either push them a little towards the top. What did I say? Dice
Yeah, for sure.
You're running. Oh, whatever it is.
Marbles. Yes.
Marbles. So I feel like I either want to push the marbles towards the top more or push them towards the bottom more. There's no like plinko system or randomizer system. They just kind of throw in, and I feel like I'm always tempted to cheat. I don't cheat, but I feel like I'm always
I
tempted
can't trust
to.
yourself
emptied
not
my
to
mind.
cheat.
It's like a thing. Like it's like a mental process every time. I just wish that there was. I wish we had a marble track, like your really cool marble track.
Oh my word!
That'd be
I
fantastic.
think,
Let's do it.
Have a game of Golem at the end of the track. Just
honestly, I
Yeah.
think dice would have just been better. They've already done dice like this in their other games.
Yeah.
yes, frequently.
Yeah.
And there is a lot going on in the game, as people have noticed. And so I get the idea that it sorts itself immediately. You don't have to roll the dice and then, okay, where's the 2s? Where's
just
the
done.
3s? It's just kind of done. It's a gimmick. But I
It's a
enjoy
gimmick
it.
that's almost misleading, though, because people look at it, they're like, marbles. Like,
Right.
don't get caught up in this, okay?
Yeah.
Now, let me say this, though. About the components, for me, I usually can stomach symbology to some
Sure.
degree. This game pushes my limits on it more than almost any other game because that board is just like, whoa.
It's a lot.
And every special tile, I have to be like, okay, remember everyone, this one does this one does this.
Right.
What do these cards at the top do? What does this mean? What colors where? Hey, I mix up the red and the green.
There is no
There is
green
no
track.
green.
Yeah, it looks
Except
like a
on
green
the
track.
board, it's clearly green.
Right.
So there's a, and it doesn't look like, I don't have to be like fully thematic, but the golems don't look like golems. Then I mix the golem and the workers up occasionally.
Yeah.
Well, it's a typical Cranio Creations production, if
Yeah.
I may say. Although this one at least works.
It does. I guess thoughts on the art and components is that it's not really a looker. Okay, I wouldn't say it's actively ugly, but it's busy. It's very busy. It also, I think, suffers from modern Euro setup bloat, where there's a ton of pieces and chits, and to some extent it almost reminds me in a very odd way of a much heavier Taverns of Tiefenthal, where you've got all of these things that are on your board. Everything can flip, everything can, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I can flip this piece to upgrade, and I can get this to put over this, and I can replace this track with another whole track that I can put on my board. there's just a lot of pieces to account for. It's a mixed bag visually, I think. The whole red-green track thing is an issue. It's okay. I'd agree.
One of my biggest issues with the production is I think they should have taken a cue. I've seen other games do this, where there's a default setup printed on the board. Unfold the board. That top red track, yellow track, blue track already have action printed on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have 4 event cards already printed on there. Then you can customize it.
Like Teotihuacan does.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have helped us a lot for making it more approachable. The first game, if you want to just set it up, open the board, and kind of go, you can. So
I'm going to super glue my favorite choices onto the board. That's what
Done.
All right, as a side note, so Chris brought it up, I don't think anybody, unless you're a brilliant person, maybe it's you and you're a 7-year-old kid, I don't think anyone's going to get it until a good chunk through your first game. This game is not intuitive in a lot of the things that it does.
I agree.
And it's an engine-building game that slowly, and I always talk about, I don't think you should be able to do everything in the game.
Right.
But in your first game of Golem, you might think, can I do anything? Especially if you're playing someone experienced, like this guy built his whole Golem and went up 3 tracks, and I went up part of 1 track.
Right.
It can feel like that, so I think that needs to be said. These guys do that in a lot of their games, but I think it's exasperated in this one more than most, where it takes a while to get things moving. You're going to feel a lack of resources in everything. Or is that just me?
You know what? I feel like I went into this game feeling that way the very first round.
Well, that's what I was saying.
But then at the end of the first round, I thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to do anything next round. I won't have anything. But then the incomes in this are really, really good. And so I ended up ending my first round with more stuff than I thought I was going to have. So I got to do more the next round than I thought I was going to be able to do. So I feel like it picked up quicker than I expected.
Yeah, I feel like I understand what you're saying, and I agree, especially as far as the strategy being kind of obtuse. Like, this is not a game where you can look at it and go, oh, got it. Yeah, I know exactly what I need to do my first turn. No.
Well, as a side note, the golems.
Yes.
Do you kill your golem?
I do.
I don't know. Should you? Should you not? How far do you run it? That's not intuitive. How that system works.
That's true. Because they are a resource and they can trigger and give you a lot of stuff. And you're right. It's a little counterintuitive to remove that from the board for good for the whole game. It's gone now. You can get more, but that golem is.
But you might pay if you don't.
You might pay if you don't.
Yeah.
I will say I don't think that it feels quite as punishing as some of the other games that these designers have been involved with. For example, Lorenzo Il Magnifico. That's a game that to me feels like I can never do what I want to do. I'm always 1 resource short. I didn't necessarily feel that here, although you're right. If this is a game, or if you were a type of gamer that wants to be able to do everything, then this is not for you, because you've got to specialize to an extent.
I love the specialization. The thing that I appreciate about this, and we were talking about this, is that you can pivot at some point in the game.
Yes.
Right? Like, I have a setup. I've got the artifact board on my right side that I need to build up the gold stuff to get. Gives me these types of incomes. I'm going to go for books. At the end of the game, I got no books. I accidentally shifted into building more golems and getting artifacts. And I thought, hey, cool. Like, I'm glad that I could pivot at some point and it wasn't so constrained.
And one thing that I like about the tightness of the game is I enjoy games where I look at it and I say, I don't know how to make the first couple moves. I'm just going to pull levers. I'm just going to kind of feel it out and see where it goes. And so I appreciate that you can pivot, because partway through the first couple turns, I kind of understand it. Now I can really play. It's not like I set myself up poorly the first couple rounds and I'm just gone for the rest of the game. Like, I still have a real game to play and I still am invested.
Sure, I'm just saying that if you're new to this, I mean, and that's probably a good thing, but you're not going to probably lose to someone who's played before. You're going to get massacred by them, because the interaction is not tremendously high, but the interaction where you take that marble I want makes me want to, flip the table sometimes.
Or the rabbi action. I mean, that I think is the main point of interactivity in in the game. I think maybe the only point of interactivity in the game.
You took my marble. I needed that.
But that's not unique to Golem. I mean, there are many, quote unquote multiplayer solitaire Euro games. I don't know if I would call this exactly that, although it skews more to that angle than to a highly interactive Euro.
For sure, yeah.
But that's where most of the angst comes in, is like you have a particular marble that you're kind of eyeing. And that's why it is nice that the white marble is kind of like that wild type of a thing. It makes it a little bit less punishing than some of the other games that these designers have been involved in.
Yeah, there's some flexibility.
There is a little bit,
Yeah.
So one of the things about this game that I particularly think makes it stand out, right? Two things. One
This is good. I'm glad you're going here because I want to know what makes this stand out from other Euro games.
So two things. One is you draft marbles. Other games have done, right, dice drafting, whatever.
Right.
But that one rabbi action is like a little hint of worker placement.
Okay.
I think that it adds that angst of when do I put my rabbi out and take this tile because I'm sure someone else wants to, but
Right.
boy, I would rather get this blue marble, activate this action, get the bonuses, yada, 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 before I do that.
Right.
You have to kind of balance out when to do which of those things. And the other thing is that I think this game integrates multiple tracks together. Your students move up the track to keep control of your golems move up to get better actions, and the way that you get the movement on those is interrelated, but they're through different actions. I like tracks. I like when these Italian designers
Oh, you like tracks.
throw tracks into all of their games. More tracks. Tracks on tracks.
All right, calm down and don't listen to Chris. I mean, I love tracks too, but
But this is tracks
there's
on
a
tracks.
limit.
They're
It
integrated
is.
together, and I like that part of it. It takes what could have been really all over the place and kind of conjoins them in a game that's already all over the place. But that part I find intuitive. Keep your students up with your golems, or kill your golems.
you're rebuttaled.
It feels like tracks. I
And that's why
appreciate
this side of the table.
I appreciate your passionate defense, and I would respectfully disagree that it feels innovative.
You don't think the golem thing is innovative? I mean, where you have to keep it in your control? That I've never seen that in a game before.
Maybe not, but I just don't feel like.
I'll join you guys.
No, that's fine. It's fine. You know, I don't feel like innovation is the strong suit of this game, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, right? I mean, sometimes I think innovation is overly prized. It's better to have a game that's well designed, and this is a well designed game, but I don't think innovation is its strong suit. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know that these guys. I mean, if you had not told me whose game this was, I would have known.
Yes,
For sure.
absolutely. Yeah, it feels very. It has some familiarity to it. I'll put it that way.
Alrighty. Well, Mike, I guess we'll start with you then.
Okay.
I'm feeling a strong 10 here.
No, and it's not going to be. I'll just come right out. I'm coming in at a 7. I feel like it is a well-designed Euro game, a very well-designed Euro game. I enjoyed playing it. I would play it again, although I'm not going to necessarily go out of my way to request to play it again. It's not a game that I would want to teach, to be quite honest with you. I think that it's a bit convoluted. I feel like it's a bit of a bear to set up and a bear to teach. I don't feel like it does anything that really makes it stand out from other well-designed Euro games.
This is a very, very lackluster 7, but keep going.
No, it's a well-designed Euro game, but I don't know. There's a lot of well-designed Euro games out there. That's the issue, is that why am I going to choose this over other well-designed Euro games? I don't know. If you really are attracted to the theme, then that might be a thing. And it was, I will say this, it was a novel theme, and I appreciate that. But what's going to make me choose this over something else? Over Coimbra, over A Feast for Odin, over other well-designed Euro games? There we go.
I'll just say it's funny because when we have conversations, like after we played this a few times, you're like, "Oh yeah, this is really fun." You're making it sound negative, but
it's not.
You've
It's a
genuinely
7.
had fun. Yeah.
I
don't want people to jump down, Mike, and be like, "Wow, he really crapped on that 7."
No. It's a well-designed Euro game. It's just that's a very large pool.
All right, well, I got your back, Mike.
Okay.
Also a 7.
Okay.
And very similar thoughts to Mike on some things, except I don't have a problem with this. This feels like the next step in their things. Although I would give a 9 to. Why can't I never remember the name of the other game?
Lorenzo
Magnifico. Mike's wrong on that one. That one's way easier to do
I
than
prefer
this one.
to Lorenzo.
My two concerns with this that keep me from giving it a higher rating are the engine building is super fun in round 4. I wish it had started earlier.
Yeah.
I also accept the fact that I'm probably dumb and should be doing it in round 2. I felt like I was slogging a little bit. I also normally teach games, And if you asked me to teach Golem, I'd be like, are you sure Chris isn't around? So there's that.
Yeah.
That being said, I did enjoy it. I think I like the way everything works together. I just found on Etsy little stickers to put on the Golem, so I'm going to spruce up the way it looks a little. The marble thing.
I'm giving it a 9. No.
And the special abilities, I like that. I like tracks. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm all about tracks. I'm not as, maybe as tied to, grids are better than tracks, but tracks make me happy. I wish I could have gotten farther in my tracks, but I stopped in my tracks. Okay, I'm going to stop.
Tracks of your tears?
The yees are affecting me. All right. But it's a solid, good game. And I like these designers a lot, and so I would gladly play it again.
That's awesome.
Not a 7.
So not a 7. I gave it an 8 because I really enjoyed it. I enjoy these designers. They just really fit not my comfort zone, but like my happy zone. Like I really enjoy the crunchy. I really enjoy the tracks. I love games that I can play time and time again and pick different things that I'm going to do because I can't do everything in this. And the theme was new. I kind of had never heard of it before, and so that was interesting to me. But overall, like you said, like super solid, great Euro game, and I give it an 8 because I really enjoyed it.
All right, I'm going to say this.
Here we go.
Always the highest rating.
I'm definitely giving this 9. I'm giving this game a 9. I love this game mechanically.
Towards this side here.
Right, yeah. Here's the problem, though. I love this game so much. I feel like it does have some bloat to it, and I thought after my first game, like, geez, I really wish they kind of cut some of the stuff out. The more that I play it, I'm really loving just the interactivity of everything. I would give this game a 10, but the production is bad. There's too much symbology. There's too many moments where the symbology means kind of different things, even though it has the same symbol. You upgrade this part of your Golem, it says, hey, every time you do the work action, you work an extra Golem on the board. Except what that actually means is only when you draft the top marble from the tray to do the work action, not when you get work bonus action. But there's both the same hammer symbol. The setup is obnoxious.
I played the game and I'm still confused by what you just said.
That's the problem, right? I had to look up so many exceptions and clarifications on online forums to make sure that I defy anybody to play this game 100% correctly the first game based on the rule book.
And that's a problem.
That's a problem. This game would be a 10. I have so much fun with it. This game is going to have legs for me. We're keeping it, and we're going to pull it out often and play it because I like it that much. I'm keeping it, Tom.
Oh, man.
Wow, is that how it works? Because I've got a lot of games I'm going to claim right now.
Look, keep, steal, it all means the same thing. But no, this
same
is...
iconography anyway.
Same iconography.
There you go.
But yeah, no, that's why it's a 9 for me. It's dragged down a little bit because of those issues.
All right, well, that's Golem. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Mike DeLisio.
On to more...
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
My name is Dave Luza,
I'm Ilka Luza.
and we are.
Doing something that that I have never done before. A top 10.
This is your first top 10.
It's my first top 10. That's mainly because I don't like them to do myself. I like it when other people do them. I'm very, very, very intimidated. So please be patient with me.
Roll and Rights. Yes, we're talking about Roll and Rights that came out in 2021.
Best category for me, because I love roll and rights.
We play board games every day on twitch.tv/Luzapalooza. Mostly we have been playing play-alongs during lockdown and connecting with everyone all over the world. Send out score sheets and we flip and we roll and everyone puts the stuff on their cards. And then at the end we compare who did best. So for us, it worked best to play these games. Some of them on my list are definitely not streamable, as I would like to say. I think yours is completely...
Mine mostly are, I would say, yes.
Yeah.
But I like that as our new motto. We flip, we roll, we write.
Yeah.
That should be our motto. Should we get started?
I want to say that my list is... I don't think I have a certain preference. I do have an idea behind it, but it's mostly for a list of games that I first off want to show off because I think they're cool. They're doing something different for me, and that it's more like a hotness list. Which game would I like to play now? It doesn't have to be the best game, but it's cool and it's new, and I want to play.
I like that you're combining the hotness list with cool.
Yeah.
For me, it's quite the opposite. I'm excited about most of these games, and I want to get you excited about them, but I could not care less about hot. So
we also have no crossovers.
We had one, and you claimed it, which is fine. Which is remarkable because it's your number 10. It would be in my top 3. So
dun dun dun. Let's start then. Let's see how things end up. This is us, the top 10. Number 10. My number 10 is Trails of Tucana, which is of course an older game. But this year, a lot of those roll and rights, they came out with some new stuff, and I really loved the new stuff that was in this one. It's mostly a new map that has
a ferries
that you can use, and they can help you get over the map faster. But this game is a flip and write, and it is awesome. I really enjoy it, and even without the expansion, I highly recommend it. It's mostly a reason to put it in this year's list because of the expansion modules that are in here. It's a small one, but it's worth it. That is Trails of Tucana, my number 10.
Would have been at least my number 3. So I'm going to show you my number 10, which is this one, Dice Trip. In this case, Germany. There's more maps. There's Belgium. There's Switzerland. There's France. All the countries that Helvetic
sold separately. So this is only the German map.
Yeah, and that's where they have offices. That's what they told us. So it feels like a smaller version of On Tour.
Yes.
That's what it completely feels like. It has all the difficulties of On Tour. It's slightly less difficult, I would say.
Yeah.
You regret a lot of decisions immediately. My difficulty with this one is that this is all written very, 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 very small and in a very hard to read font. I don't like that at all. That is for people like me who are on the older side. It's not very well to read, so I don't like that. Other than that, it's a fun game, it's a good game, but it's my number 10.
And it's the real map of Germany.
It is the real map of Germany with Essen on it.
Learn where the different cities are.
Yes, learn your geography.
The only downside is our city, Düsseldorf, is not on there.
Yes. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is also it's an expansion or a new version of a game, Railroad Inc. Challenge. Railroad Inc., you all have probably heard of it, and either you like it or you don't. Railroad Inc. Challenge comes with some extras, things that you can cross off, look for on the map. Try to make sure that you build a certain crossing at a certain point to get more points. There are some object cards in it, so you can try to be the first one to have a long road connected or stuff like that. I really like it. Railroad Inc. Challenge. I do not like it enough to be higher on my list, so this is where it comes in. It is just another version, and the game came on Kickstarter with 1 trillion new dice that all have certain rules. You can play Pac-Man with it. You can build trees. But this is the basic new version of Railroad Inc. It's Railroad Inc. Challenge. I really like it. It's my number 9.
My number 9 is this one, and I would have expected it to be higher on my list. It's Ballada.
This is fun.
It's a really fun game. It's a flip and write. You turn over cards, and basically you go on a journey. You're the hero wanting to slay dragons, I believe.
Well, actually,
And
you are
opening.
not the hero.
We're not the hero. We're sending the hero.
We're sending the
Yes.
hero. We're planning
We're outsourcing
a
the
path.
hero. Yes.
We're
yes.
planning a path for the hero to go through.
Yeah.
There are these different terrains, and when he's at the top of the summit,
They are at the top of the summit.
they flip over, and then you go back at night, so
night.
new perils will cross your path.
You can find treasure. You can get lost in the woods, I felt. And at the end, you're supposed to sing the Song of the Adventures, which is something I really like, but I fear that is something that people will skip mostly.
Yeah, you will definitely skip it, but that's the idea, that you're the bard who is making the song work. I wanted to show off the art because
The art is
cards
amazing. The art is pretty cool.
are really nice.
Yeah.
There are some monsters that you need to slay, and it's really, really nice done. So you pick up swords along the way. There's a portal. There's a castle.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
In this game, and if you would not have had it on your list, I would have certainly put
I got it to be on my list.
Mine. So Ilka's.
Also, I want to mention that it's by a Czech company, Albi, that does mainly educational stuff for kids. That's what they told us, and which I really, really like. So check out that, definitely. Like books on numbers and letters and all of that, puzzles. Really great. Great company.
Next, we go to the Netherlands for a flip and write game called Boulders. Now, this one is different. You cannot stream this game because every player will have their own color. And, I forgot to wipe it away. I'll do that later. And these boards are going around the table. So you have different players.
Pass them to...
You pass them, and so you want to add certain stuff to your board, and then your board is removed and you get a new one, and you try to continue, get more points. So you have to be around the table to play this game. Boulders, like I said, from some Dutch designers, and there we go. It's my number 8, Boulders, a flip and write. That's a bit different because you don't own your own sheet.
My number, where are we? 8. I'm very bad at numbers. That's why I don't do top 10. My number 8 is this one, Voll Verplant from Schmidt Spiele. And if you look at it, you'll notice right away, yes, it's Metro X.
It is Metro X, but
it's in Europe.
It's in Europe. They have.
This is Berlin. This is Amsterdam. Oh, which we have already played, and I won already. Oh no, this is your map. You did not win. I did. Yeah. It's if you know Metro X, you will have a lot of fun with this one. I liked it. I really
They
liked
removed one card from the deck. I don't know why. Maybe it's tweaked better to go with the different maps that are in the box. You have Paris maps, Amsterdam, Madrid, and Berlin. And actually, I thought it was pretty cool that this is where I used to live, right there. It's not an exact depiction of the metro system, but
it's close enough so for you, if you know the cities, to have fun with it. It's I really liked it.
We never have played Metro X, so that's why it kind of makes sense to put it in this version on our list.
Voll Verplant from Schmidt Spiele.
Yeah.
What's your number? 7.
Number 7 is all the way from I forgot. It was
Norway, I believe.
Norway, I think it was Norway.
Yes.
Riverside, which is really nice.
Would have been on my list, absolutely. So beautiful.
Well, you could have. You create a board every time. It's going to be a new journey that a cruise ship is taken along the Nordic areas, and
it's cold.
It's cold.
Yeah.
This is, again, a very well streamable game because one person is going to roll the 6 dice, or 6, and you're trying to fill boats to go out on excursions.
Which is great because you go on booze cruises and reindeer watching and
see the northern lights. So it feels very thematic to me. also that people can be cold and you can only lure them to your trip. If you say, well, I can put some extra heating on, you have to...
I think it's sweaters. I think you provide extra sweaters. That's what I think. And then at a certain point, you have no more sweaters.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you run out of warmth points.
But it's a really good... I think I should have put this higher, but...
You should. But I mostly because it's also reason for a lot of puns. Because if it was any colder, it would have been River Slide.
Oh, but this is a high recommendation if you
Yes.
like a game where you can compete in a good way. There are different ways to points. You have to do some a little bit of math during the game.
Yeah, bookkeeping.
Some bookkeeping.
Yep.
Riverside, awesome.
Awesome.
My number 7.
Speaking about awesome, my number 7 is this one, and I get such a kick out of saying Viaje al Centro de la Tierra. I can't say it enough. Journey to the Center of the Earth is the English title. I am a big science fiction nerd. I read all the Jules Verne novels. If you have too, you will enjoy this because it's very, very accurate. It depicts the journey to the center of the Earth in a very exact way. Another... I want to say flip and right. Is that correct? We have so many. Or do we roll dice?
No, I think we are
we're so professional. We're so prepared.
flipping cards.
We're flipping cards and we're turning them over, and we take the center to the journey of the Earth and back. Hopefully, you find your way to the
You
center.
said we take the center to the journey of the Earth.
We do. I did.
We do.
I did. See, I'm really good with words. Oh man! So we go to the center, and then we want to go out. So what you aim for is to have like everything sort of connected, like you want to go in but out again. On your way, you pick up sort of treasure, reward points, stuff that gives you more points. I fell into the trap. I thought, and if you ever want to play this, I thought that I get everything. Like when I'm here, I would get all of this and all of this. No.
You only get there that where
The highest
you
numbers
land
that you
on,
have
yeah.
crossed off.
This game is very much like Railroad Inc. in that you are trying to build a road to the center of the Earth, but you want to make sure that you connect to as many bonus things as possible. If you play this around the table, you're trying to race, and it's really nice. It's really nice.
Really, really beautiful, beautiful, nice game. And if you have read the book, you're going to enjoy it even more. Viaje al centro de la tierra.
Oh,
sí.
Next up for me is a game that gave me a lot of puzzling fun.
I hated it. Sorry, I never say that. I did not like it. I was very bad at it. Hashi?
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Do you want to show it?
Here we go.
I
Hashi.
didn't hate it. That's not true.
It is Hashi. Hashi by NSV. I used to. I still do. I like puzzles when I go on a holiday.
And you're good at puzzles,
In my
that we have to say.
In my puzzle books, you always have these different kind of logic puzzles, and this is that made into a game. Everyone has their own score sheet, and we actually played this on stream as well.
Yes.
And you flip a card, and it tells us you need to write a 3 on one of the islands, and then you can connect 2 bridges. So you're trying to connect the islands with each other, but only as many bridges can go to an island as the number that is on it. So it's definitely a huge puzzle. You're racing to be the first to get the different islands with a flag numbered and bridged, and
it's such a conundrum. It's one of those games where you make one false move and everything collapses.
Yes, it does. I really like the puzzle here.
If you enjoy solo puzzling, I think this is the game for you because it's. I think you can have hours of fun, and I'm not exaggerating with this one. Like going back over your decisions and making different decisions. I think this is a really good game for smart people.
Yeah, so this is a roll and write, but it's also a puzzle game. This is actually Hashi is the shorter version of the puzzle type name. But if you know these logic puzzles, you know exactly what
Logic
I
puzzles,
mean.
that's the word I was missing.
Yes. Hashi. My
Hashi.
number 6.
6. My number 6, and I'm a bit torn because the two games I want to show are pretty similar. But I'm going to go for this one first, and this is Alles auf einer Karte. Everything on one card.
All on one card.
All on one card.
yeah.
It says
Oh,
everything,
everything,
actually. Yeah, todo en una carta, if we want to go thematic. A very, very, very simple roll and write, where you just roll colored dice and you cross off the corresponding colors on your cards. There's a lot of different cards that you can score with. You can also try to make your opponent's life a lot harder, which I like if it's not only you playing, but you actually communicate with your other players. It's a good game. I really like it, but it's really, really simple.
It is simple, and it feels a lot like Silver and Gold, which was also
Yes.
a big hit by them, NSV
Yeah.
NSV games.
Yeah.
They specialized in roll and write
Yeah.
games.
What I love, and this was one of the first, I mean, you knew this probably, but one of the first games where you actually write on the cards, so you don't have a score sheet anymore. I love that because we save paper.
You try to fill the cards, and when it's done, you put it away as
and you
a
take
score.
another scorecard, and that's great. And we taught this game to many people. All of them liked it. Great game to take on vacation. Small game, just throw it in your purse and be done. Everything on one card.
A very interesting thing is they have some kind of deal with with the people who
Yeah.
make these.
Make the good
Markers, the
whiteboard
good
markers.
whiteboard
These are
markers.
awesome. Now this comes with 4 whiteboard markers that are actually usable, and they're great.
They are awesome.
They have a fine tip, which is very different from other games where you have like the big one where it almost feels like a brush. But this is perfect for filling in these small little.
Really nice. Other thing that I really like is the dice colors. They also have shapes on them, so it's really easy to see, even
Yes.
if you have 20/20 vision.
Yeah.
Just imagine you being colorblind or something. You would have no trouble seeing
No,
what has been rolled.
It's really great.
So I think they did an amazing job here.
Yes.
Alles auf eine Karte.
Yes. What's
Karte.
your number 5?
Number 5.
Almost halfway through.
My number 5 is Number Drop. How about that? This is Tetris. One of those Tetris games, polyomino shapes that fall down, and one thing that you should not forget is
Look at these guys.
when you are filling in your sheet, and when those shapes drop down, you actually do not write the shape in, but you write the numbers that the dice tell you. So this die will tell us the shape that is falling. This might be that small T. This might be a 4 long block. But the dice will tell you what the numbers are that you need to write down. And the numbers are going to give you ways of scoring points. So if you have them connected adjacent on your board, because slowly your board will fill with these numbers, then you try to get combinations of the same number or of a sequence of numbers. And that's where you're scoring with. But there's more. If you do it correctly, then you are able to activate a trap for other players. If you are there are 5 traps in the game, A, B, C, D, E, and if you met the requirements for the first trap, then every player who did not meet that requirement at that point has to fill in a shape with X's. So they will be definitely in the way, and their board will be filled more. So Number Drop is a really fun puzzle game that I really enjoy, and it's by one of the creators of Welcome To. Just putting that out there.
Yes.
Number Drop is from a French firm called publisher, Débacle du Jeu.
Yeah, and we had a great demo of it in Essen.
Yes,
They were super friendly and very engaged, and this puts it over the top for me. If people are from the companies are like that, I'm like, yeah, you're doing a good job.
Yes, I thought so too.
Thank you.
So Number Drop, my number 5.
Yes, and my number 5. This is why I don't do top 10s, because I immediately regret all my choices. This should not have been a number 5. Well, there you go. I really like the game. This is Diceland, another one from NSV. Another relatively simple dice game. You have different maps, also again of European. I want to say cities, but that's not true. Countries.
The countries are new in 2021. The game was out,
Yes.
I think, last year, but now they have added maps of the different countries.
Of France, for example, this is Great Britain. We have Germany. We have the Netherlands. And you roll dice and you fill in the corresponding colors. You can only connect, like you cannot skip. You can't go over. Once you have started a yellow area and you have more than 4 yellow dice, you can fill them in.
Yeah, have to be perfect.
And that way you can really mess up your opponent's games. It's really simple.
You get bonuses. That's something
Yes,
I
you
like.
get bonuses. It's really simple. I like that. And what's not to like about this? This is awesome what they did here. Just I don't know if you can see it.
It's
But
felt.
you can definitely hear it. It's like this is carpet. This is just a big carpet tile that they put in there. So the dice roll really nice. They don't make a noise. It's so perfect.
It's also by NSV. I'm just noticing.
Another NSV game. Yes.
So they have the dice with the. Oh, this one does not have the symbols. The other one has the symbols.
Yeah.
They missed.
But this is a really enjoyable, simple little game. Again, if you're not from Europe, this will tell you more about the geography of Europe. I thought we had the other maps in here, but we don't. Which is really nice. I mean, that's like a side effect. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diceland, my number 5.
Number 4. Number 4, I'm getting into my more heavier games.
Oh, so heavy.
And here we are with Paper Dungeons.
Paper Dungeons.
By Meeple Grimspire. Alley Cat Games has picked them up as well. This is a dungeon crawl game where you are rolling dice and filling in your score sheets, trying to get the most fame points, loot points. There are boss monsters in here. You have to level up your party of adventurers. This is an awesome game. It's actually streamable. We played this during Tabletop Live Networking Day. If you have never checked that out, go to twitch.tv/Luzapalooza, which is our channel, but we are part of the Tabletop Live Network. And it's a collaboration of streamers.
Awesome streamers.
Awesome Twitch streamers. And once a month, we make this 24-hour marathon where all the streamers go raid each other when they are done. So if you've never heard of it, go check it out because it's awesome. The Brothers Murph, Ruel, Gaviola, the list goes on and on and on. There we go. My number 4, Paper Dungeons.
Oh, we're at 4.
Is good.
Thank you for telling me that it's number 4. I did not know. So I have to change because that's just
Why?
how I am. Well, this is gonna. It's okay. We all know and love cartographers. Now here we have.
We do.
Cartographers heroes. And I did not know that was new, but it is, of course. And
Don't open a box. We don't
open the box. Don't open the box.
We have two different
we have
boxes.
everything is mixed now in
Yes.
all the boxes. Is it an expansion or is it? I'm so knowledgeable.
Standalone.
It's a standalone expansion, and it just adds more fun to the cartographers game that we all know and love.
I think the art has been redone, some of the tiles, which I really like, but also the shapes that get flipped are changed up a little bit.
Another flip and right. Yes, you're correct, Dave. Thank you very much. It's so much fun, and it just adds to the fun, which is great.
I, however, do not like the hero cards.
Yes, I get that.
There are hero cards, and there are different monsters. The monsters are awesome.
The monsters are awesome.
I really like the monsters. But the heroes are able to, kind of take out the monsters. If you've ever played heroes, then cartographers, you know that if there's a monster on your sheet, you want to build it in. Make sure
you want to
that
surround it.
yeah.
So any open slot around the monster gives you minus points, and the heroes find a way to avoid that. So you can
actually attack the monster.
Attack the monster and
not
get rid of it, because the monsters really mess up your game. So that's a bit like why both?
But together with the heroes are new maps and new ways of playing, like the lava expansion.
Oh, that's
the volcano.
Oh, I love that so much. That is so cool. Yeah.
So you'll have some cards coming out and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, your volcano is exploding and turning areas into uninhabited."
Really want to play this now. That's how good it is.
I'm sorry, that was number
4.
Now we go to number 3. This is the most heaviest of the games.
The most heaviest?
Not only in weight, lift the box.
I can't. I seriously can't. But this,
really
this is box fart material.
No, it's completely filled to the brim. There are so many score sheets in here. Yeah. It's almost ridiculous. But not only that, Hadrian's Wall, which is a game that... well, you can play this on stream as well. I think I did that. Some people playing with me, just not endlessly. Not endlessly. You kind of have to work with
endlessly?
neighbors. Forget it.
I know what you mean, because you... Yeah.
It is a flip and right. You have to deal with it. The score sheets, there are 2 of them, and they look very incomprehensible, and I totally have to agree.
Very, very intimidating.
There is a lot going on, but that also means that you're going to get bonuses and this and that.
It's a chain reaction game, which I usually struggle with, because you are like, you do one thing and then you do and then 20 minutes later you're done.
Yeah.
And now then it's my turn and I'm like, okay, and I take 1 minute and I'm done. So
this game is a lot of fun for those bonuses.
I really want to learn this better because I think I could enjoy this. Hadrian's Wall.
If you have played Rajas of the Ganges, the Dice Charmers, then if you like that one, that already has some of those chain reactions.
Yes.
But this one is definitely a step up from that.
Yes.
But it is a lot of fun. And I highly recommend it because it's my number 3, Hadrian's Wall.
It just so happens that all my top 3 games are Cosmos games. I don't know how that happened, but it just happened. So my number 3 is this. Rustling Leaves, Blätterrauschen, or Bladder Rushing, as our dear chat calls it. This is amazing, and I just want to show you the art. This is just so great. It's very simple. You have 2 dice, and there's 4 seasons that you can play separately. This is, I believe, fall. There's
summer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because there's apples. I thought this was. I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
Both-sided summer.
It's a both-sided summer.
Yeah.
So it comes with tons and tons and tons of score sheets. As you can see here, the 4 seasons. And they're all beautiful. They all have different rules. The rules change in every season, which I love. In one season, you can cross the river. In the other one, you get minus points for that, negative points. In the other one, you get more points, I believe. No, this is fall, Dave. This is fall. This is
summer.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I just want to show off winter because it's so beautiful. That's Christmas trees. It's light, but it can take you a bit to get used to the system because you roll dice and then you circle the corresponding number of squares, and you want to do that under certain rules to score you points. Some things you want to avoid, like the bears you don't want to have, and other things you want to have. It's just beautiful.
And easy.
And very easy. And the good thing is that it always comes with 6 points for Nikki. So there. My number 3.
Your number 3.
Yes.
We're down to the last 4 games. My number 2 is Welcome to the Moon.
Oh, I'm jealous that I couldn't get this on my list. But also, I have not yet played it. So.
I haven't finished it yet, but I'm enjoying it that much. Welcome to the Moon is the 3rd iteration of Welcome to. First we had Welcome to the Neighborhood. Then we had Welcome to New Vegas.
I just love how you say iteration.
Oh, yeah. And now we have this. This is a campaign game, and I am enjoying the heck out of it. It's not legacy, so you're not ripping off things, but the choices you make kind of have an impact on what you do next. It still is the same game, so you're trying to fill certain things. We're not in a street anymore. No, we're going to the moon. We're going through the moon. You're starting your spaceship. You need to fill it up, and you need to do that correctly. And the first game is actually a race, so it's not about who's got the most points, but who's done the first, who's able to lift off from Earth. The sheets are laminated now, and not everyone loves that, but I do. It comes with these boxes, and you think, oh, it's legacy, it's boxes. Well, that's not entirely true, because at the beginning of the game, they're all empty. I was a bit disappointed in it. You have to open the decks up yourself, and then once you know what goes in which box, but still, it's got 8 different scenarios, so 8 different laminated sheets, or actually 4 because they're double-sided, but each sheet is there 6 times, so you can play with up to 6 people out of the box. I think it is amazing. It is a campaign game, and it has surprises in them and different things that you did not expect. You don't have to play the campaign version, but actually I am playing our next game later tonight. So
Awesome.
yeah. Welcome to the Moon is my number 2.
Yeah, Dave got all the meaty games. I got all the light games, which is fine with me. So my number 2 is this one, and it's very light. It's really, really light. This is High Score, also by Cosmos. It's, yes, the dear Mr. Knizia made another game.
Well, he also made your number 1 game.
That's very true. That's very true. So we seem to be buddies now. You play 7 rounds with varying rules. You score high scores and then you win. The nice thing about this is the person who starts sets a score, and the next people always try to beat that score, which is great. I think that's a...
I think 10 years ago, maybe longer ago, Mr. Knizia made a decathlon or Olympic Games. And that was based on competing in different push your luck dice rolling games. I think this is the next iteration of that.
Oh, I love that. Ooh, iteration, Dave. Ooh.
I think that because it comes even with gold, silver,
Yes,
and,
it comes with gold, silver, and
bronze
medals, which is kind of counterintuitive because the gold medal says 3. But that's the point.
So you thought the gold would have number 1 on it?
Yeah, kind of.
But it's worth more. So
I know. Super simple game, super fast. 7 rounds and then you're done. Mostly Dave wins. But it's so much fun.
It is luck. It is pure
it's entirely luck based, and
but it's fun to do.
It's so much fun to do. We taught this already to several people of really different player levels, and they all loved it.
Yeah. You're actually not riding, I'm just thinking. You're just rolling.
No.
It's not a roller ride.
It's a roll. This is how we roll.
It's a roll game.
Because you put your little cube on your points, and that's it. And then you get a medal, and then you go into the next round.
I do feel it's allowed. I allow it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. High Score. This is my number 2. What's your number 2, Dave? No, we're at your number 1 already.
My number 1.
Dave's number 1.
Number 1. I'm going to show you. It's track 12.
Woo-hoo.
Now, some might say this is a last year's game, which might be true, but I have it wasn't available to us then, and I feel it should be on a list at some point. So it's going to be on this year's list. If you want to be honest, say, okay, I'll put the Amazonas version on this list. I don't have it yet, but
exactly.
I'm pretty sure it is just as amazing. In track 12, you are going into the Himalayas in this version. So like I said, the new version is about the Amazonas, but rolling dice and writing numbers on the score sheets. Now, this is what the game comes with. It has secret envelopes.
This is so exciting.
If you have secret stuff, well, then you have me. If you...
It's so good. Like exploring something that we don't know at the beginning. That is so cool.
I already know there are new maps in this game, and it already comes with a couple of different maps that really play differently. We've played that on stream. We have been fortunate. It's in French. Our version is in French,
which I love. It feels to me a bit again like on tour, only in that regard that you fill in numbers and you're not allowed to fill in certain numbers next to other numbers, or there's
lower numbers.
Lower numbers. Yeah. There's a specific order for that, but it has very different rules. It just reminds me of that. That's just me.
And continuing through the game, you'll open up some of those envelopes, and they give you little tweaks to the rules that sometimes you get more points if you have a certain character card or. So it's really nice, and I really enjoy. It's my number one of 2021. Trek 12. Awesome game.
It is really awesome. And
game.
now that you say it like that, I feel like I'm going to be quoted. Oh, Ilka, that was your number one of 2020? Well, I stand by my decision. It's fine. Oh, box fart! Oh my goodness! That was a really good one. I stand by my decision. Yes, Mr. Knizia and I seem to be engaged at this point because also my number one game of 2020 is by him. And it's also by Cosmos. It's Lost Cities, the roll and write. Now, I have to say, Lost Cities, I love. Like the game. Like the card game. I love it so much. Mainly because I beat Dave a lot in it. It's true. It's true. I love it. And this is the roll and write.
We need to say, I need to say something.
You do.
Tom is wrong on his assessment of Lost Cities roll and write. Tom says this is pure luck. And it's not.
No, it's not. No.
You are in charge of your own luck, sir.
Absolutely. That's why you're really good at this. I feel like you need to sort of have an overview of what's possible for your opponents, and then you can play accordingly. Like the first choice you make really determines in what direction your game will go. And I love this. It's super fast, but as you said, it's not only luck-based, and I love that.
And,
again, here we have...
Tom was saying, well... if you write a 9 at a higher level, at some point you need a 9 or a 0, but to make it. But it's your choice. You know it's hard to roll. If you're looking for a specific number, it's going to be hard. So it's your choice to go that high.
Yeah.
But the game works just like the card game. So you're trying to get numbers. You start low and then slowly go up.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, before you start on a certain track, you have to make a choice if you want to double it. It's actually not a choice. It's something that needs to be rolled. But if the first thing that you go up on a circle has you can put the 0 on the back, and that means it doubles the points.
It also doubles
for
the negative
good
points.
Or for the bad.
Oh my goodness, that you can really mess up in that way.
Yeah.
Also, this has what you remarked before for people who are colorly challenged. I don't know how to put this the right way. You have symbols that go with the colors, which is really nice.
It's exciting to play, I feel.
It is super exciting. Exactly. That's exactly the feeling I get from it. It excites me. And that's so great about this game. And I don't think we should discriminate against light games just because they're light.
That's true.
Because they really get me excited to play them again and again and again. And I love that.
Yeah. So true. So that's it.
That's
our top 20. Well, top 20. It's 2 times 10.
It was my first top 10, Dave. How did I do?
You did amazing. You did amazing. Okay.
I love doing it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the spectacular. It's going to be awesome. There are so many good things. You can see us more and more over on the Dice Tower at the Board Game Breakfast. So you can look forward to that. I am looking forward to it.
Let's have breakfast together.
Yes. We're back, baby. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I'm Tom Basil, and I want to continue talking about this amazing gaming year 2021. Now, tons of great games came out. This particular list, we're talking about the best reworkings or sequels or redone versions or new versions of older games. And this is a tough thing because when we talk about the year and we say, what's your favorite games that came out over the course of that year, many of the games on this list would be there. But I don't count them because, well, I mean, you don't want to have the same game be in your favorite games multiple years in a row, or I already knew I liked the game going into it because it's just a new version of that. The thing is, I do this list every year. This year, I could have done a top 50 on this. So many games are being reworked and redone. I think this is an important thing, and it's neat to see these games come out. Some of them for people who've never played the original, some of them for people who like the original and just want more. And some of these games are some of my favorite games, ever, and you'll see as we get closer to the top. But let's start at number 10. These are my 10 favorites. Number 10 for me is Steampunk Rally Fusion. Now, this is one of the instances where I did not play the original Steampunk Rally. This one just adds more stuff, more power. I mean, the game literally is about using power to drive your big steam engine. It's a race. You're adding cards to build this big engine, using those cards to get dice, roll those dice, use those dice to move your vehicle. It's a lot of fun. There's a ton in this. I don't know that you need to have all that stuff. Like, the original game is probably fine, but having all that, giving you a gazillion different people to pick from for pilots and so many cards, there's just a ton of stuff. I really enjoyed Steampunk Rally Fusion. Number 9 is Night of the Living Dead Zombicide. Now, Zombicide is one of the most popular games CMON has ever done, if not the most popular game. And there have been many different versions of it. This is actually my personal favorite version of the game. Now, part of that is because, well, it's The Living Dead, which is a classic horror movie, and I'm not a big horror movie fan, but this movie is in my psyche, and I like it. It's 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 the birth of zombie movies for the most part. And this game is not just about walking out and be like, bah, 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 blowing away zombies. It really gives you that dread as you're in the house, boarding up the windows, fighting your way out as the zombies come in. I really like this one. It's a unique, interesting version of the Zombicide universe. So that's Night of the Living Dead. Number 8 is Hibachi. Now, this one is was originally Indian spices, and now we're at hibachi with Japanese ingredients. This is just throwing chips onto a board, getting them to slide onto the spots you want. The original game was such a weird, unique experience. This is the same weird, unique experience with much nicer components. We played this one live here on the channel. You can see how it works. But hibachi just is throwing chips out. It's silly fun, but with high components. If you're looking for a game that feels different than most other games in the market, then this would be one you want to get. Number 7 is Chronicles of Crime 2400. This is another game in the Chronicles of Crime universe. They did the 1400, then 1800, then 2400, and I am really on board with this jumping around through time. But the future one is the best, as this detective game where you're scanning QR codes, trying to figure out what's going on. You jumping on and off the net. You meet avatars. You get these special abilities as a cyborg to use throughout it. It is by far the best one from the Chronicles of Crime universe, period. It's my favorite game in that universe. I like it a lot. Chronicles of Crime 2400. Number 6 is Kemet, the second edition of Kemet. Now, Kemet's one of my favorite games, so this seemed like an obvious thing. Hey, I'm obviously going to like Kemet, the new version of it. And yes, indeed, I do. Everything is a little bit bigger. They've streamlined a few of the different rules of the game. It's still essentially the same game. Like, if you didn't like Kemet, you're not going to suddenly like this, and vice versa. But Kemet, this whole dudes on a map type game where you also have these giant mythological Egyptian creatures and special powers, it just is a solid, fantastic game. They also included the expansion stuff, even if you got the Kickstarter, snuck a little bit of Cthulhu in there if you want or don't want. I just like having all this cool options and fun things to the game. If you've never played Kemet, this is a great place to jump on board. Number 5 is X-Men Marvel United. Now, Marvel United became one of my favorite games this year. I enjoyed it a lot last year, but this year we got the release of all the extra stuff, and I ranked all the heroes and villains and love it. Love that game. But they released the newest base game, the X-Men United, and it does a really good job bringing in Magneto and the X-Men and Mystique into this universe. You can mix them together. We got people who can be heroes and villains. There's way for now one player to play against the other players. It just felt like it was a more robust set than the first set was, but it doesn't feel like it's also overpowered. I don't feel like there's any power creep so far. And mixing them together, and I really look forward to next year them even releasing more stuff for the X-Men Marvel United. It's just a lot of fun. Number 4 is Agropolis. Agropolis is a direct sequel to Sprawlopolis, and honestly, it's the same game. Again, that's why it's on this list and not on a new game list. Again, it's an 18-card micro game, which is best as a solitaire game. That's how I play it, where you have a few cards that give you the rules and how you score points, and then the other cards you're slowly putting out there, building this little Agropolis. In fact, there was an expansion that let you combine Agropolis and Sprawlopolis together in one game, which is fine, but each game is fine on its own. I don't think that it offers anything particularly new than Sprawlopolis, but it just feels like a sideways, good, nice step from the original game. Number 3 is a game that I had not played when it first came out 5 years ago, and that's Iki. Again, this would have been one of my favorite games of the year, and it is one of my favorite games of the year, but it's just a reprint of a game that's 5 years ago that somehow I missed. This new amazing production as you are moving people around in a small village, buying and selling different resources, but it's this whole moving around, knowing when to buy, lots of different ways to get points, having cards in shops with the people in those shops kind of advancing. It just comes together in a really cool but very simple thing. One of the best rule books / player aids I've ever played in a game. Just a fantastic production, and it's a lot of fun. That's Iki. Number 2 is The Crew, Mission Deep Sea. The Crew was my favorite game from last year, so it's no surprise that the sequel to this game would be one of my favorite games this year. It is very similar, but at the same time, it adds some differences. At the same time, it kind of replaces the original Crew. I'm never going to play the original Crew again because this offers a little bit more depth, more diversity in the mission cards. So if you never played this, The Crew is a cooperative trick-taking game. And you draw in this game some mission card type things that you're going to try to solve, like you need to take the 5 green card and you need to take no pink cards, whatever they might be. And we need to do that with very limited communication. It is an amazing game. The Crew was already one of the best games I played. This simply makes it better. Again, if you like one, you're going to like the other. Just a solid sequel. The biggest crime about it being it makes the original one obsolete, in my opinion. And number 1 of the new versions of stuff is, of course, one of my favorite games of all times, Summoner Wars 2nd Edition. I love Summoner Wars. It's been on my shelf for a long time. Summoner Wars 2nd Edition here, which revamps the system, but keeps much of it alive. You still have a summoner. You're still summoning units. You still move those units around. You still attack with dice, but you still have a deck of cards that you use to pay to put cards out. It's such a tight, fast, fun, tactical game. If you've never played Summoner Wars, it's unbelievably amazing. And the Summoner Wars 2nd Edition, the way that they streamlined it even more makes it better, and they added new factions. It's not compatible with the first one, and then I still kept the first one in the Dice Tower library because I still love it, and this one only has a few factions. They'll be adding more. But wow, Summoner Wars, just an absolutely stunning, fantastic, terrific game. You're using cards instead of miniatures. Do not care. This game is just, again, you have one deck of cards and the other deck of cards with very wildly different abilities. They feel very balanced, and it brings some amazing gameplay to the table. Anyway, these are some of my favorite of these reworkings of games. Let me know what yours are in the comments. Like I said, there's so many. We had Lizard Wizard, Machi Koro 2, Horrified, American Monsters, a new Patchwork, a new Vabank, a new Galaxy Trucker, Space Invaders, Equinox, Funfair, and man, the list just goes on and on and on. So many cool new games came out this year in new versions. That's fantastic. It's a great time to be a gamer. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vasel, and these have been my favorite reworkings of games in 2021. All right, everybody, welcome welcome back to our live here in the studio. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Wendy Yee.
You didn't tell me we're live. I'm Chris Yee.
All right, folks. Well, we are now going to be playing a game here called Snakes.
Don't adjust your screens.
All right.
This is not a
Anyhow,
test.
this is from Big Potato Games. We've actually played it here live once before. We're going to be playing this, but hey, good news. There's a contest. You can win a copy of this. 2 copies worldwide. And to win a copy of Snakes, all you need to do is email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word Snakes. We're not being very subtle here.
Yeah.
We don't need to be. This is Snakes.
Snakes on a table. So, yes, you can enter that. That contest is going to run to the end of the year. All you have to do to win is just email us there, tell us your favorite snake. Or if you don't like snakes, you can write none. That's a legitimate thing to have. What's your favorite snake, Mike? Quick.
Boa constrictor, Tom.
It's supposed to be anyone that's in a cafe.
Oh, that's a good point. That would have been it.
Is it really a boa constrictor?
No, I was under pressure, Tom.
Do you have a favorite snake? I mean,
My favorite snake is the one that's furthest away from me.
Yeah.
I agree.
We were at a pet store last night, me and my son, and he's like, look, a snake. I'm like, do you want to own one of those? Like, no, who would do that? I'm like,
I don't know if I have a favorite. Falcor from Neverending Story, probably.
that's not a snake. What is he?
He's
a
a
dragon.
yeah, he's a dragon. That's different than a snake. Dragons are cool.
Oh, yeah, Mushu taught me that. Let's go on.
What about the dune sandworms? Do those count as snakes?
No.
Scientifically,
worm.
yes.
Well, in real life. Okay, so anyhow, enter that contest. Meanwhile, we're playing snakes here. So in snakes, one of us each round of the game, we're going to get one of these character cards. And there are 5 of them in a 5-player game. We could have more. One of them is going to be, oh, that was very convenient.
Rare.
The Mongoose of
There
Truth.
you go.
Whoop-a-bam!
All right,
Nice.
so we're going to hand these out randomly. Whoever the Mongoose of Truth is going to reveal that they are the Mongoose of Truth. The other players will not reveal because 2 of them are snakes and 2 of them are ordinary humans.
Snakes are not see-through in the original.
This is the deluxe print.
That's correct,
The
yes.
fancy
With
plastic
see-through
cards.
tiles.
Invisible ink.
Whoa!
Invisible green.
Look at
Look
you,
at
Roy.
there.
All right. Anyhow, we're going to have a... You know what? I'm not going to explain any more of the game. We're just going to play through the game. And I just realized we didn't flip the table, man.
Oh!
That's on me!
I wonder who said to do that.
All right. Well, anyhow, let's go to round 1. We'll just hand these out.
Let's do
All
it.
right, who's going to
Do
read
it.
the question? I'll hand these out.
Well, we're going to hand them out first because that matters.
Yeah, be careful in sliding these, Chris.
Sneaky.
All right. So whoever the Mongoose of Truth will reveal themselves
Mongoose!
of truth.
Birthday mongoose. Woo!
Everything I ever wanted.
All right, so we have
You
a
wanted the
stack
Mongoose for
of
birthday?
cards here. So we're going to put a card up here, and it's going to show you.
Oh boy.
Oh.
There we go.
All right, go ahead and read it, Chris.
Because pineapples were so expensive in the 1700s, how were they sometimes used? A. They were carried down the aisle by brides. B. They were placed by the grave after a funeral. Or C. They were rented and taken to parties to be shown off.
All right, so what's going to happen here is we're going to all close our eyes, including the Mongoose of Truth. Chris is going to flip the card over, and the 2 snakes are going to look at the answer. I forgot to look at my thing. Okay. The 2 snakes are going to look at the answer. And you, too, can be a snake and look at the answer. If you don't want to see what's going on, then close your eyes, too, during this time phase. Chris will then turn the card back over, and we'll go to the next round. It's pretty simple. It's just going to be A, B, or C.
Yeah, and since we are doing this live and there is a live chat, maybe if you are watching this live, if you can refrain from... We probably should not have discussion in the chat, don't you think?
Actually,
thoughts.
let's
Or do we want to turn
let's
them off?
briefly close the chat.
All right, so you guys talk away. We just can't see it.
There
All
we
right.
go.
There you
That'll
go.
work.
There you go.
There we go.
Sorry to...
Privileges are waived.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
So
Chris.
this is actually the one we're going with.
This is what we're going with. The
You're happy
pineapples.
with that, Chris?
I could not be happier.
Everyone close your eyes.
All right.
All right, fine.
Everybody close your eyes. I'm going to flip over the card.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a snake, open your eyes. Observe the answer. Take it in. Don't forget it.
Seriously, it's...
All right. And everybody open your eyes. And we have, 2 minutes or so to discuss?
Yeah, but let's put it
Is there a
back here
timer in
because
this? Or do
Or
we
we're
just
just like sort of
So,
This is a
We're just
complete
close.
catastrophe. Okay.
Give me half a second.
You could try to trip up Roy, but you're not going to do it, Chris.
all right,
We're not going to do it.
So we're trying to persuade Chris now to pick the answer. The snakes are trying to get Chris to pick the wrong answer.
well,
the
we're all voting though. Every one of us is
We're
voting.
going to vote in this after 2 minutes. So we
Okay.
should have a 2-minute timer here. So let me get my phone out. We'll put a 2-minute timer on the thing after I explain how the rules work. What we're going to do then is, I just did alarm. So the snakes are trying to get Chris to pick the wrong answer. The other people don't know the right answer, so they're just trying to get Chris to pick the right answer, or at least we're trying to pick the right answer. The snakes are trying to get as many people to pick the wrong answer as possible. So the snakes, who are 2 of those 3,
yeah,
I'm trying-
right.
Wowza.
Already coming out the gate. Sus.
Nice.
all right, truthful statement,
Uh-huh.
right there. I'm just saying that right now.
Okay.
That being
I see where
said,
this game's going.
I have no clue what the right answer
So are
would
we
be.
starting now?
Yeah, yes, there we go. Starting the 2 minutes, boom.
Go.
Okay.
1700s.
1700s. People didn't die in the 1700s, so it couldn't be me.
Well, here's the thing.
funny thing,
I don't think that seems like a waste to have it at a funeral.
Really? Okay. Because that was the one I was leaning towards, was the funeral one. Because
Different
it kind of
cultures.
reminds me of, like, I know this is like a very different time period, but it does kind of remind me of the whole...
Was it on a pizza?
No, I was thinking like the Egyptian, like the Egyptian thing, the valuables you take with you into the afterlife. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
The pineapple.
not the
valuable?
1700s.
I don't know. That's where my mind first went. I'm not saying that's the correct answer.
It does sound like a waste to me. I agree with that.
Oh, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm back to.
Also, weddings weren't big to-dos, right?
In the
Back then?
1700s? Yeah, they were.
Oh,
If you were super rich.
Like,
but if
okay,
you're a
well, yeah, I guess
commoner-
I guess it's fair. Because weddings, the way weddings are now, was not a normal commoner
They
thing.
were rented?
You were rented and shown off at parties.
Sounds pretty gross.
Yeah, like here's this used pineapple.
Check this out. Anybody want to have a lick?
I saw that pineapple at a party last week.
They won.
I marked it with a little.
That sounds like
Don't
not
pawn
a
off
very,
your used
does not-
pineapple on me,
Does
sir.
not like a sustainable business.
Right.
You know? I don't know.
kinda
If I had to
feeling-
pick, I would probably say A. Sounds like the most likely.
Maybe.
I'm kind of feeling Mike's thing. Like, if you're buried with it, you have food in the after. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I
You're
was
not buried with it. It's alongside the tombstone.
right, but that's
Oh, it's by the grave.
So I
Okay.
was having this discussion.
1700s.
Everything Chris says is actually legit.
right.
1700s
20
doesn't
seconds.
sound.
What's everyone leaning towards? 20 seconds.
I'm leaning B. but-
I'm thinking A.
Wait, you just said B. Oh, no, you said A.
Hey, I'm thinking the bride. The other one does sound wasteful.
Well, you haven't said much over there, Mr. Bowen.
No, because I already said everything that I think. I'm with Z. I think it's A. Well, I mean, I could see C. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, folks. We now will all pick an answer A, B, or C.
Right.
If you're a human, you'll pick A, B, or C. If you're a snake, you have to put the side that shows snake.
Tom just pointed at his thing.
Yes. And that will reveal them, and then we'll score based on what happens.
And Chris is the one who's
His
Well, let's always
Doesn't
reveal the
matter.
mangas of truth first, because I'm curious what you picked.
Okay, so
Because we
I'm
know you're not a snake.
guessing A.
Right.
I'm guessing A. So
All right.
well,
That's
everyone's
fancy
vote
pineapple.
counts though for points.
All right, here we go. Let's flip them.
Go.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I love this.
they convinced us.
So let's flip the card, Chris, to see what the correct
I
answer
love
is.
this.
Yeah!
Good job, guys.
That's fantastic.
All right.
Nobody got it.
Nobody got it. So if you had got
I
it
feel like an
correctly,
anaconda right now.
we would have got points. But since we didn't get it correctly, the snakes get points. They
Yes,
get a
they
point for
do.
each wrong answer, so that each of the snakes gets 3 points.
Let's go.
3 and 3. It's not necessary to put zeros by everyone else. I'm gonna do it.
So
Yes,
were these
cross
real
it out.
pineapples they rented, or were these
Oh,
like?
absolutely. Except
love
for the
it.
scandals.
You know, see,
Sculpted
Did you hear that?
I didn't think you
the
were snake
Penningtons
because your
didn't have
answer
real
and I knew I
pineapples.
wasn't. It just sounded very logical.
Sounds logical,
I love
right?
the fact that the
And the
correct
fact that
answer
Mike
was the most
argued with
stupid
you
one.
made me think, well, he's the only person who's on my side.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Why
I'm
do I
actually
trust
glad you came the
thee
other
so
way.
many times
Come on
in
now.
games?
I know what I'm doing. I've lied before.
All right, shuffle them up, Chris. Get them out, everybody.
Look it up with that snake towel again.
How much time is the timer supposed to be?
2 minutes, I think. Did someone say it wasn't
You
too
want to
nice?
make it
No, I think
twice?
Roy's he's going next level, Tom. He's going to incorporate technology.
Roy, you can't keep doing awesome stuff like this.
Oh,
NASA's going to
yay!
take you from us.
All the
And the
mongoose
mongoose
of
of
truth.
truth! Woo, 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 woo.
Man.
And Mongoose take
I'll make the mongoose noises.
That is okay.
I don't know what a mongoose
That's a Cthulhu
That
noise,
was
I'm
a
pretty sure.
very authentic mongoose.
I would be a lot less afraid of Cthulhu if he came out of the ocean and went,
Well-known mongoose sound.
Wait, why did mongoose and Cthulhu get conflated there? Read us the question.
Here we go. We're going to put it up on the old screen there.
It's there.
in the 18th century,
Move it over.
come on, let's stop with this history stuff, okay? History's boring, right, Mike? In the 18th century, what granted you free entry to the London Zoo? A, volunteering to clean up after the elephant droppings. B, bringing a cat to feed to the lions.
I refuse to participate in this question.
This is the best question yet. I love this question.
C, dressing head to toe in feathers.
So the fact that one of these is potentially correct is horrifying.
I know, I agree. Is there a possible none of them are right?
No. All right. All right, everyone close your eyes.
Okay.
Everybody close your eyes. I'm revealing the answer. If you're a snake, go ahead and open your snaky eyes. And then... Mike, do you need that again?
Yeah, right.
All right, everyone open your eyes.
All right, starting the timer.
All right, here we go.
I'm smelling something.
I am
burning.
too.
Yeah.
I'm
Not just
smelling
me?
like
Okay, good. I
burning
thought maybe I
toast
was,
or-
not doing well.
I think Camilla's making something.
I hope so.
Okay,
All right,
good.
here's our
I hope
timer.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Okay, let's go.
That's really strong.
That's
Really
strong.
distracting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if the house is burning
Yeah,
down.
let's
can we
just-
check
we
that
check
there
if
is
we're
in
not-
fact cooking happening?
We're
I'm
not gonna-
concerned.
Should we check the wires around too?
I can't imagine it's C.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about this here.
Yeah,
yeah.
It smells. It smells like A to me.
The only one that makes sense
I
is
mean,
that's really strong.
it's
very,
really,
very
really strong.
strong.
It almost feels like it's in here. Smell wise.
Yes. This could be a very exciting stream here soon.
Yeah.
folks. Well, let's wait till you hear
It
something.
smells like food, though.
It does smell like burnt. It
It
smells like burnt toast.
toast.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Well, that's why I wanted to check, because I'm smelling burnt toast. And I'm like, is everybody else smelling it? Otherwise, I need to leave and go to a hospital right
Is it
now.
out
Their
there?
kids burnt their ramen or something.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Burnt ramen, folks. Burnt
Did they freeze put
ramen.
water in it?
It's
I
A.
think-
It's
yeah,
going
I
to be
think
A,
A.
man.
Right now, but
What?
it's
I think
really bad
A.
out there.
I'm going A.
I think
So
A.
here's a problem.
Your kids.
All of us are saying A.
Is there
And
fire
two of
going
us are
currently?
No, not
snakes.
currently.
That is true,
That
Chris.
is true.
So it can be
Open
A.
the doors.
Wow. All
We're
right.
all saying A.
Oh.
So it
And
has
two
to be.
people are snakes. So it can't be A.
So it has to be.
I'm going B, because C is just so over the top.
And B's not?
I can't pick B because
I don't know. Last
I already
week
have a
was-
reputation for hating cats.
I
But I
don't
would not
understand.
feed one to a lion.
You're going to a zoo to look at animals.
Mike
It's
is
let's
like
bring an
personally
animal.
affronted here.
I am affronted. This is a personal affront. Anyway, look, I mean, I don't think. Well, first of all, none of these make sense.
If you want to go wacky, go C. But as for
I
me in my
guess.
house, we will choose B.
That's fine. I mean,
head
I'm
to
going to
toe
go
and
C then, because he was the
others,
first one to
scissors.
suggest an alternate letter.
All right.
Oh, I see.
I've already picked my answer.
Oh,
I've already
okay.
picked my answer.
Well, yeah, well, that's pretty easy when you're a
I'm not gonna
snake.
pick my answer.
All right, here, so we'll go mine first. All right. So I am doing C because I think C is.
I assume it's C
All right,
also.
let's flip them.
Snicker.
Well, what is it? Flip it.
B!
That's B.
Woohoo! I am smart. Not as smart as the snakes because they got more points than me. I am smart.
how many
I need a fan in here.
how many points do the snakes get?
2 because 2 people guessed it wrong.
2 for me and 2 for Wendy. Okay, and
Man,
then
mine
Chris,
is
you
cracking
get
up.
1.
1, and then none for Tom and none for Z.
I'm on the board.
That's rough.
I am going to be briefly backer because I need to see why my kids have
Yes.
burned down my suit.
Let's
Winter spectacular indeed.
let's
Close
riff.
the door.
Yeah,
Close the
you close the
door.
door, and then we probably need to open the front door. And
I did.
Is there a fan? We can get a fan going?
I don't know. Wait, I don't have a
And
fan.
the back door's open?
You should
I opened all the doors.
All right, so what is the worst smelling burnt food? I think popcorn is number 1, but this I thought was number 1. Now I have
Like
to.
popcorn. I mean, it's the same
It's
kind
the
of thing,
same.
right? Ramen, burning ramen smells like burning popcorn to me.
Yeah.
Whatever this is,
Is
burning
the worst.
carbs.
Yeah, the funny thing is, and here's a little peek behind the Dice Tower curtain, is that oftentimes when Kenny will come...
1800s was so much better, don't at me.
Oftentimes when Kenny will come to work and he'll cook his food, I'll accuse him of like burning tires or shoes.
Tar.
Because it smells awful.
You all are going to want to stay in here.
It's bad in here. It's gotta be
Did you
horrible
close the
out
door
there.
too fast? Wafted.
Wow, that's rough.
All right, yeah, someone... they said they didn't put a spoon in the microwave, but something happened. Don't use the microwave. Mike never does.
I don't. I'm.
Mike does not have a microwave, and all of us are like astounded about this fact.
You don't have a microwave?
We don't
Put it on
have.
for like 30 minutes.
We've got many
I don't know.
cooking implements in our home, but not a microwave.
Okay.
Welcome to the live winner spectacular. Do I still 0 points?
Yes, you.
I want to talk that through. Who was the snakes? It was you, Mike, and
It was me. We each got 2 points. Chris got
because
one.
Z definitely felt truthful when you said everyone said the same answer.
I pointed
That's
it
what
out,
Chris.
man.
No, Z definitely said it because I remember thinking he usually lies, but that felt truthful. He might have been agreeing with you.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? If everybody's saying, "Oh, A, yeah, A," then
Then that does
I
not.
should've-
either they're playing some weird long con
Yeah.
or it's
I
not
should have
A.
thought B just felt too. Feeding a cat. By the way, I don't promote this, and I didn't
No, I
pick that
don't.
answer.
Right.
All right.
That's
I
Chris.
think it was true, but I also think the 18th century was awful.
Yeah. Have you passed out new characters?
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are.
So you
I'm
gave
trying to
back your
think-
new
Yeah,
character.
one of these is random.
Oh, we already have it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who's the mongoose of truth?
Who is Mongoose of Truth?
That's me. How?
So question here: is that any worse though than, let's say, buying mice to feed a snake? Because I went to the pet store yesterday and I was thinking, my son was like, "Look at the cute mice," and I was thinking,
The only reason I think it's terrible or is worse is that this leans into cannibalism a little more than the mice. to the snake.
"That's
You know what I
that's
mean?
true."
Yeah.
So it's a little uncomfortable.
I own an anaconda. I have
The
to.
struggle is real.
I have to go to PetSmart every week to
Every
buy
door in the house
17
is open.
cobras. All right.
All
Are you
right,
ready?
so here's the question. This is really bad.
All right. In the 1920s,
It's way worse out there.
which slang phrase meant to go to the bathroom? A. To get on the trolley. B. To pour a tall one. To C. To iron your shoelaces.
It
you
really
need
should
to-
be all of the above. It's
Look,
really
if
what it
you
should
need to
be.
iron your shoelaces, you need some more fiber.
Yeah.
Do you have your water bottle?
Whatever.
I have almost no water.
Can I steal your almost no water?
No matter what the answer is, I'm using it.
That's true. We need to bring this phrase
From
back.
this
I
point
like
on,
this phrase, yeah, whatever it is.
All right, everyone, close your eyes.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Flip it, flip. Snakes. Take a good gander at that. A goose and a gander. Flip it back. And everyone open your eyes.
All right, let's scoot the comments over if you don't mind.
Oh yes.
There we go.
All right, I am the mongoose of
comments.
truth.
Okay.
Mongoose of truth.
Are we ready?
Yep. Let's do it.
Right.
I think all of these sound realistic to me.
Getting on
To
the
pour
All right.
a tall
Let's go
one.
from disgusting to least disgusting.
Pouring a
Okay.
tall one.
Pouring a tall one sounds more modern than the
It
other ones.
does. It does.
I would have
Ironing
to.
your shoelaces sounds really gross.
It
I think-
does, but it sounds good.
I think it's got. C sounds like the most real. I don't know. To get on the trolley.
Getting on a trolley sounds almost legit, right?
It's
Maybe you have to go somewhere to
does.
pee.
No. I'm saying it sounds like a thing that people would actually say. I'm saying that it doesn't. It sounds too normal.
I'm trying to
It
figure out
sounds like
where
a
the
secret.
saying came from.
My only
It
thing
sounds like
about
a
that
secret.
one. My only thing about that one is that that's the only one that has a term that is specifically not used anymore.
Well, shoelaces.
Trolley.
Give it 10 years and shoelaces will no
That's
longer be
also
used.
that is
That's
true.
fair. Velcro
And, or
all the
iron
way.
for that matter. But yeah, I don't know. I almost feel like A is a red herring because it's like that's the one that sounds like it's from the 20s, but I don't know.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Wait, so
I know what you mean.
Wait, are we all
I
agreeing
think what
it's
you mean is
problematic?
that you're a snake. I think is what you mean.
I think I'm very clear who the snake is, and I can reach out and touch him with my right hand.
Okay, so but you're both agreeing on the same answer.
No.
He's not. He's saying not A, or you
I'm
want
saying,
You're
I'm
saying
saying I
not
don't
A or
think it's
RA?
A. I think A is a red herring. I think A is there to make
is
it.
A.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking, I'm still on C.
Okay,
You're
so Chris,
saying
where are you at,
C.
and Wendy, where are you at? Because I think we're the.
I think I'm on poor tall one.
I'm
Whoa!
almost going there.
That's out of nowhere. That's out of nowhere. Out of left field.
I'm almost going there too because Z right off the bat said,
What do you think,
"No, I
Chris?
think that's
Iron
too
your
new."
shoes sound like you're
Sure.
squatting, like you're bending. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
You can't,
That's
like,
true.
That's what I said.
Oh, that's not bad.
Now you're all saying that's not bad.
Oh, that's logical though.
It is logical.
This one just makes me uncomfortable.
I don't know.
Time's up. We got to vote.
Okay.
Mongoose will be first.
Oh man.
oh,
Pretty sure
Choices.
Tom and Z are the snakes here.
Choices.
What are we going with? Chris?
Garbage.
trolley time.
Oh, Wendy! Oh!
But we picked them all.
We did.
The right answer was.
Yes!
You made me suspicious by agreeing with me.
I know. That's how the game's supposed to work.
Okay,
That
so
was well done.
let's do the snakes get how much?
I was getting worried though because
2.
Mike was systematically eliminating the incorrect answers. I was like, oh,
Right?
I need Mike to agree with me. Come on, Mike. And then if we all agreed, then you would
get
know
one
it was
right?
wrong.
Pixie.
I get one then, I guess?
Yeah, Z gets a point.
One and you get one.
No, two.
Two?
Two if you get the right answer.
Wait, is it 2 if you get the right answer?
Yeah.
Oh, so Chris got 2 last time. So 2 more for Chris?
No, I didn't get it right.
No. You get a point for everyone who got it right. So in this case,
So Z got 1 point.
it was 1. Sorry.
And the snakes?
So 1 for Z.
They get 1 point for everyone who got it wrong.
That's correct.
Yes,
So
snakes
snakes
get
get
2.
Snakes are whooping the
Mike was
ordinary
doing
people.
it correct.
Yeah, okay.
You had it on, Mike.
Thank you. All right. So right now scores are Tom 2. Chris, how many did you get that turn?
None. I
Okay,
guess.
so 1 for Chris, 4 for Wendy, 4 for Z, 5 for me.
Mike, you're the sneakiest little sneaky.
Mike is out.
Sneaky.
I was a human that time.
All right, what do we got?
That time.
What do we
How
have?
many rounds do we have left?
Deal these
We're,
out.
we're in round 3 of 6 apparently, so halfway through.
All
Pick
right.
one.
What is a truel?
You know what? We had this one before.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to have.
I understand
Sort
it.
of these.
I recognize it immediately.
What is Ronald McDonald called in Japan? A. Mr. Happiness. B. Donald McDonald. C. Sensei Yum.
Fantastic.
I'm the mongoose of truth.
All right.
Wow, okay.
Well, we need to jump right into this. Let's do it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Close your eyes. Flippity flip. Snakes, if you're a snake, open your eyes. All right. We're good. Everyone open your eyes. What is Ronald
All right.
McDonald called
Tom,
it?
you're the
Japan.
mongoose. What are you leaning towards?
Well, in Korea, which is not
should start the
Japan, but it's close to Japan. In Korea, the R and the L are the same letter. Like
Okay.
R. I don't know if Japan is. I don't know much about Japanese language, unfortunately. So I could see why they wouldn't use Ronald McDonald in
Okay.
Korea.
Okay.
Okay.
So the Donald McDonald, as dumb as it sounds,
Yeah.
could make sense. Mr. Happiness is a terrible name.
It is. That was the first one I thought of, though.
Sensei Yum
That
sounds
cannot
like an
be. I'm
American.
sorry. Sensei Yum is not. That cannot be
It
it.
sounds like an American made up that name.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That leans in.
So no one here thinks it's Sensei Young.
I'm thinking it's B. I think I feel Tom on that one.
Sounds so weird.
Donald McDonald.
It's not like as bad as C.
Sensei Yum can only be if this is one of those like truth is stranger than fiction kind of things.
And a lot of these are. Like
Well,
feeding
no,
a cat
it
like a
could
lion.
be.
Yeah.
It's a translation, so it could also sound more palatable.
Which then Mr. Happiness could be more acceptable.
I agree, and the guy does have a smile on his
So
face.
Sensei
Yeah,
means
carved
what,
right
teacher
in.
or
Didn't they phase him out in America? He no longer exists, right?
He exists, I think.
Ronald McDonald?
No,
I don't
I'm
see him
serious.
in
I think
commercials.
I
they
haven't seen
phased
him
him out
Really?
because of that. People are afraid of clowns.
That's true.
Is that why?
I think it's Mr. Happiness. The other two sound really dumb.
All right, quick poll.
My first gut was Mr. Happiness.
Z, you say happiness?
Yeah.
Wendy?
I say B.
B?
I'm leaning towards C because of the. It sounds.
And Tom, you
Maybe,
you
but that sounds really not right. You know
Yeah.
I'm
what I
looking
mean?
towards B or
Sounds,
C, but I don't
sounds
know.
real American.
you were leaning towards B or
It is
C.
an American company.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for them
They
to
would,
call it Sensei Yo,
Why
it
don't
sounds
you
like
think
an
this
American
happiness
came
just
up with that.
doesn't sound like it makes sense to you, or
It just sounds generic and weird.
it does sound generic. It also does kind of sound
It's
like
inoffensive.
what we.
Time's up.
Right.
Pick your answers. Or show you're a snake. One of the two.
Yeah.
Tom,
I'm really nervous about this, but
you've
I said
convinced me.
C.
You got snaked!
What is it?
What was it?
B. It's not McDonald.
Yeah.
I should have went with my first option.
I know, you went right
You're
to
the one
it.
who convinced me.
Okay, so let's do this again. So Tom doesn't get anything right.
Why didn't I pick B?
You're
We
a
would have
snake.
destroyed the
Everybody else
snake.
gets one.
1 point.
No.
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 Oh, do we get 2
You
each?
get 2 each.
Who? Wendy and Chris both get 2.
No.
Wendy
Mike,
and Mike.
Mike and Wendy.
Oh, okay. So
I like being on Mike's
2
team.
That's why I should be keeping score. And then how many for Chris?
1.
1, and
I
for
did
Z?
one with that.
1. Okay.
Man, if I picked B, that would have. That's what happens when you change.
I'll think you convinced me. Actually, I was going to
Yeah.
go with the happiness, and then you kind of.
Oh, I thought you were a snake.
No.
You and Z were so adamant on that happiness thing. I was like, that
Okay,
doesn't.
Here, Mongoose. You know, so I was a snake. I completely forgot that McDonald's has the Happy Meal. I completely forgot to
Mr.
bring that
Happiness,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted y'all to guess wrong.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I wasn't even listening to you. You were just like, Tom, what do you think? What do you think, Tom? You were very, very subservient there with your lying.
Yeah, Chris.
Subservient.
Subservient lying. I'm still the mongoose
you
of
just
truth.
keep-
Come on.
Yeah! There's a lot of pressure being the mongoose of truth, by the
This
way.
is the
There's just not a
penultimate
lot of
round.
points.
All right. What was one of the suggested titles for Toy Story? A. A Tale of Two Toys. B. Bedroom World.
That
C.
sounds-
Made in Taiwan.
Can I just say that they made the right choice no matter what?
I agree. All right.
Wow.
Close your eyes.
All right. Everyone close your eyes. Sneaky snakes, open your eyes. And open them. Everybody open your eyes.
All right. Well, whoever the snakes are need to convince me somehow that it's not made in Taiwan because I can't see any.
Really?
No. I'm saying
Start
that
the timer, Roy.
I can't see any universe where made in Taiwan works.
Oh, would be okay. Yeah, no, I don't.
Aye.
Oh,
My
man.
gut was saying A right off the bat.
A Tale of Two Toys.
Yeah, but why are the other two on there then?
No, I know. I mean, I agree.
Bedroom World makes me uncomfortable.
They all kind of make.
That
me
does not
uncomfortable.
sound like a kid's.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like a kids movie.
If that was the original, I could see why they scrapped it. Hopefully immediately.
Yeah, I want to know where these suggested titles came from. It was like Joe in the corner going, "Oh, bedroom story." They're like, "No, Joe."
I just want
It was there for 5 seconds.
What they don't tell you on the card is that all 3 of these people have been fired. They were all immediately fired at that meeting.
A Tale of Two Toys at least sounds based on something. You know what I mean?
It's
It
it's
sounds-
nodding to a Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta say, as the mongoose of truth,
Yes.
the fact that no one's pushing towards C makes me want to pick it.
You think?
I think a snake would have argued for it.
You may be right, but I mean,
Well, I also think you're a snake, so.
well, you'll find out in a moment. I'm not, but
Made in Taiwan.
it's just.
It's terrible. It's terrible. That's why I think it might be real.
might be
Listen,
it.
Not only is it terrible, but I think it could offend people. That's the thing, you know what
that's
I mean?
Yeah.
why it
But
was
it was the-
rejected.
Well, that's true.
Okay, when was the original Toy Story made?
95.
6, 95.
Wow, you're on the ball.
Wow.
I gotta delete that question from.
All right, when was
Thursday's
Bambi?
game.
30. All right, 30 seconds.
You are on
So
fire.
you're the mongoose, Tom. What are you leaning towards?
C, actually.
You think?
B sounds like Adult Swim. And A
A is
sounds like someone came up with an
obvious?
answer to this question.
A too obvious?
You haven't said a word there.
The only one that sounds normal is A. The other two sound crazy. I mean,
C. Can't be.
And done.
E.
Time, gotta pick them.
Man. I don't know.
Tom, are you going to do it to me again? All right, I'm going to trust in you.
Trust in the mongoose.
Flip it over.
Too bad, because I'm a snake. No.
Oh,
What is it, Chris?
It was C.
It was C.
yes!
You fool! You should have.
I don't know.
I
so
could
what's the-
not
what's the
justify
scores?
this at all.
I know. Bedroom World was not something I could
All right,
convince
so
you.
what are the scores here?
snakes each get 1 point. Chris
No.
and
Chris
Wendy
and
1
Wendy
point.
won.
Chris and Wendy won.
And then you and me 2.
2.
I'm on the board!
Mike is hyper winning this game.
I'm wrecking shop.
You really are. It's disgusting.
Well, I mean, I do look to the Mongoose of Truth a lot, honestly. I'm like, because that's the only one you can trust.
Well, what was the word? Subservient? Mm-hmm. We haven't had an A yet. I'm just pointing this out.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Chris is trying to be mad.
I'm gaming the game! I'm gaming snakes!
I don't think this game is designed the way you think it is.
Well,
Are you just
I
gonna
think
start
they must
throwing stuff
have.
out?
If you went through.
Is this a Phil Walker Harding game?
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, here we
Hey,
go.
I'm not the Mongoose of Truth.
Good old Phil.
Oh, who is the Mongoose of Truth?
What?
It's only been you two.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Yeah, your whole it's never been a statistic. It's garbage. It's always been you two with the mongoose.
Okay. How did Steve Jobs like to relieve stress? A. By playing solitaire on a Windows PC.
That's fantastic.
When he was a teenager.
B. By soaking his feet in the company toilets.
Or getting on a trolley is what it's called now.
Yeah.
No, it's ironing your shoes.
Ironing your
Ironing your
shoelaces.
shoes.
Or C. By eating an apple.
I know how I like to relieve stress. I like to eat an apple.
While soaking your feet in the
While
toilet.
soaking my feet in the toilets.
Yeah.
Okay, at what point in Steve? No.
Oh, we need to figure out
Close
who's
your
wrong.
eyes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, everybody, close your eyes. If you're a snake, open your eyes. Close them. Everybody, wake up.
By the way, I like that in this game you don't have to look at it long.
Right.
It's really clear.
It
A, B,
really
C.
is.
It's a big old letter, yeah.
I know Big Potato earlier was like, note to self, don't put green on cards for risk in the future. But I mean, barring this, like,
Yes,
it's good.
it's very
color
good.
It's
coded.
almost not green too. It's
Right.
like yellow.
All right.
2-minute timer. And
All right.
Yes.
As a
who's the
human,
mongoose? Chris is the mongoose.
I'm
What's
the
your
mongoose.
gut?
A. I mean, gut feeling.
It
A
is
is the
hilarious,
funniest answer.
right? It is
Although
hilarious.
C is also a ha-ha answer.
Because of the apple thing, yeah.
B is.
B is uncomfortable.
Well, I know
Not be B.
So
he walked
uncomfortable.
around barefoot. I know that from watching those stupid 3 documentaries on
It's true.
those docudramas on
It
him.
is true. Yeah.
He never wore shoes, right?
I'm okay with people not wearing shoes, Tom, if they don't soak their feet in the toilet.
But he was a
Especially
jerk.
if
He
you-
parked in handicapped spaces.
Yeah.
He was not a normal human being.
And he tramped toilet water around the place. That's what you're saying.
Well, maybe he had a towel.
Sorry.
That's like a very aggressive. I mean, I'm not saying it's,
uncomfortable.
the
The
shoe
fact-
thing is interesting.
Here's the
but
thing: the fact that everyone's arguing with me makes me think it possibly is true.
Also makes me
Well,
think
Because I am a human.
It also makes
Okay.
me think you're a snake, though, Tom.
Okay, so
If
what,
I
do
was
you,
a snake, why would I pick it? Remember my last time I was a snake?
so what are you guys feeling?
No. My guess is C. I mean, I think it's that little jokey, but actually,
I mean, the first one's kind of jokey too.
it is too.
It
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he plays solitaire on a Windows PC.
But would he actually do that? Is the question. I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
I know in his house he didn't give Apple tech and stuff to all of his kids and whatnot. I read that.
That's
somewhere.
true.
Yeah.
He didn't want them growing with too much tech.
Yeah.
True.
He also treated his kids like not the best.
Well,
in the
that's
world.
true.
Where did he come up with the name of Apple?
Didn't Wozniak do it?
They wanted something that was very.
I thought they wanted it to be like
Easy.
first in the alphabet too.
They wanted it to be
yeah.
very easy, also
Yeah.
to pronounce, to everything, and just sort of like generic, almost like on purpose.
Yeah. My gut is C, but I don't really feel strong about this one, honestly.
7, 6.
5 seconds, everybody.
All right, Mongoose, where are you leaning?
Mongoose.
Where are you leaning?
I'm still leaning towards A.
All right. I usually let Tom
All right.
decide for me. I might do the same. I'll do the same.
That's mine. Were you grabbing my answer?
Okay, well,
You
I
let
don't
Tom
have my
decide
snake
for you?
token,
He's not
which
the
is-
No, I'm letting the Mongoose decide for me.
Oh, I must have 2 then.
Wow, Tom.
You already
Wait,
picked your
that's
answer.
your answer, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I said this is
Wait.
my answer. I'm picking A. I'm going with my gut.
snake.
Snake.
Okay, we picked them all.
All right, the answer is B.
I said that.
Are you kidding? That is disgusting.
So the snakes get 2, right?
Snakes get 2 points.
I'm just. A was a really funny answer.
Tom gets-
It just was too fake. I get 1.
1.
Oh, this was realistic.
Chris
Yeah.
gets 0.
people
right?
who are-
And Z gets 0.
People who are like hardcore
All right, so
successful
here's our final scores.
often are weird.
I bet you feel better now about the smoke in the house. I'm not at least sticking my feet in the
Sprinkling
toilet.
toilet water all over the
You
place.
guys knocking about the door. Excuse me, I'm ironing my shoelaces. No, you're not. Where are your feet?
Okay, this is my question. Usually soaking is like a relaxing thing.
There you go. Put that up.
Do you
we
like
got some
bring a
scores
chair
here.
into the bathroom
We'll have
so
to
you
shrink
can...
up our inset a little You cannot mess with Roy. Roy is too. He's just gonna.
Whoa!
Mike is
I beat Chris! Yes!
Wendy and I both were really good as snakes.
Mike is a
I was a
liar!
snake almost the entire time.
I was only a human twice, I think.
Yeah, I was a human
snake
twice.
once, and it was on the Donald McDonald one.
Yeah.
You were the truth teller a lot, which is which throws you off.
That's my weakness.
Alrighty, folks.
This is honesty.
Well, we're gonna shut the stream down because we're gonna be back in 7 minutes with Lost Ruins of Arnak. So, thanks for watching Snakes. This is from Big Potato Games. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike Delisio.
Z Garcia.
Wendy Yee.
Chris Yee.
Don't smoke. We'll see you next time.